Okay, there we go. You're now live.
Okay, thanks.
Make you.
You're going to give me back the host?
Yeah. There you go.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you make me co-host again?
Okay. There we are.
There you are.
Okay, we've got our first one I see in the waiting room. Just, you want to wait until the hour? Hello,
I clicked it.
Hello, Tamara, can you hear me? Tamara, will you turn your video on? Just make sure you're not a Zoom bomber. Hello, Tamara.
Can you hear me?
Tamara, I can hear you now. Yes. Okay. Thanks for communicating. Are you able to put your video on or not able to?
Let me see if I can do it.
Okay, don't worry. I'm sure we've got people that can help you as well. Okay, maybe Lester, you can help her turn on the video.
Start video. Let's see.
Let's see what happens. Okay.
Oh, nothing's happening.
Okay. Lester will chat to you and try and get it sorted out. But as long as you're talking, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There's Sue. Okay, you got some light. Okay.
Yes. I had to get a lamp.
Yeah. There we are. That's fine. You looked rather spooky without a light on there.
Yeah, I know.
But welcome, Sue. So, Sue, let's start with you. What brings you to this class?
I am trying to learn how to use Zoom.
Okay.
I can basically use anything.
Okay. Have you been to the Zoom basic class or not?
No, I think I did one. I don't know which one. I think that was the basic one, just tell you how to download the stuff and turn it on.
That's right. Yeah.
But I already did that.
Fair enough. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Charles, hello, welcome. What brings you to Zoom tips and tricks?
Hi, Harry. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Yeah, I want to learn about more about Zoom.
Okay. Do you use it a lot?
Oh, just a couple of times with my daughter.
Okay. Just sort of one-on-one. Okay. Fair enough. Thanks, Charles. Marjorie, yeah, what brings you to this class? Hello.
Yes, hello. I need to learn some more. I use Zoom for Toastmaster classes, but I'm never the host. So I just follow along. So I want to know some of the tricks and so on.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's great. And we've got another Sue, Sue R. Hello,
Hi.
Sue R. How are you?
Am I on? Yeah. Well, I have an 11-year-old grandson that knows everything about Zoom, so I have to learn a little bit more so I can keep up a little.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. So who else have we got? Terry Tobin, hello. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Yes, I'm in Sacramento.
Okay, and what brings you to this class, Terry?
I just want to find out what I don't know.
Fair enough. Okay. Tamara Clement.
Yes.
Hey, what brings you in here?
Mainly, I've been attending Zooms, but I've never been a host. And as you can see, I can't seem to get this camera to work. So,
Okay. Well, we have Lester in the class, who's a TA assistant. He might chat to you privately on the chat page. Watch out for it and help you sort out your camera issues. But thanks for coming onto your microphone. So you
Okay.
can keep your microphone going until
Yes.
we find there are too many background disturbances. Okay, Silverina.
Hi there, how are you doing?
Hi.
I'm attending this class because like the other individuals, I've been to the basics class, so I do understand that. And I would just like to be more effective on it because I do use it a lot. I attend a lot of meetings, teach classes and so forth. And
Right.
it was just, kind of a whirlwind change last year because of the pandemic. And so I've sort of had to learn it on the fly, and I'm trying to get better so that this year my usage of it will be more smooth and I'll feel more confident.
Right. Okay, well, thanks for sharing that.
Mhm.
Okay, Terry Tobin. You had your mic on
Yeah.
a moment. Yes, hello.
Hi,
Welcome.
thank you.
Okay. Who haven't I chatted to yet? Pamela Leonard. Hello. Okay. Alice Kendrick.
Yes,
Hello.
I'm in this class so I can learn more and be more comfortable with Zoom.
Okay, thank you for sharing it. It's important at the moment just for everybody just to share for a moment. I'll tell you why. Myra, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Well, okay, that's good. Okay. All right. There's just one person. Pamela, can you hear me yet? Can you get your voice on? Pamela Leonard, okay. Can you say hello with your mic or not? Otherwise, just answer on the chat page. Okay. We do have Lester. Welcome, Lester, to our class, who can help you with technical problems. And also, I just want to let you know that over the past week, possibly, we've had enormous disturbances in our classes. We've had Zoom bombers, they're called, coming in.
I've been, yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, great to hear from you too. Good. They don't come in through the normal channels. They just arrive and then they disrupt it, and we then move them out of the class. Okay, so just be aware that this does happen, and sometimes they can be childishly immature and crude. Okay. And so please don't be shocked by some of their things. And they never turn their cameras on, okay? So we've got to make sure, like we have now, that everybody here has at least spoken to me, even if they haven't turned their cameras on. It is a preference for us now while we go through these trying times with these uncouth people, that preferably you have your camera on. Then it's easy to assure that you don't have to be taken out of the class. Okay. Also, the other thing that we're doing, we lock the class after about 10 minutes of the starting time. And so if you're late, you will find that you can't get in automatically. But if you ask for help, either on the Get Set Up telephone line or email, they will then put you into class once you've identified yourself. So that's fine. And so hopefully, technically, we're going to overcome these problems, and Lester's here to help with the problem as well, so as to make your class, a little bit more enjoyable. But don't be offended. Don't leave class if somebody really is abusive. We will deal with them, and you stay and enjoy the class. All right.
I'm straight now. I had to hook my camera up.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's Pamela, I'm sure I can hear that you're not a bomber. You'll understand what I mean when you hear one. All right. What we're going to do today is most of you have been through the basic Zoom course, and what I do is I look at, just as the title says, tips and tricks, and we move through in that sort of format that you already know where you have been. Okay, so what I've just done while I was talking, okay, I have to work within, I've got to work within Zoom. I use Zoom, but I didn't go into Zoom, okay, so that you can see what I'm doing. And often when I'm in this class, Zoom decides to stop sharing, okay, and you must just tell me, I can't see what you're talking about, Michael, and then I know that Zoom has stopped sharing. It's not a way you would normally use Zoom, but it's a very convenient way to teach people other things about Zoom rather than try and use slides or in any other way. So, all right, what I'm going to do, I start with some slides that I'm sharing with you, and then there are a few of you that I do not recognize in class, so possibly you haven't been in one of my classes. So let me introduce myself. As you can see on the screen, and you'll hear me saying that frequently, say, don't forget to shout if you can't see what's on the screen. So my name is Michael Plumstead, and I live in Perth, Western Australia. And the time has just gone 11 a.m. in the morning, a little bit different to your time, okay? And that's assuming you in the Americas, okay? My background is researching, writing, publishing books, business owner, trainer, and I particularly like business. And so I do a 5-series business class on Get Set Up, and, starting sort of on Sunday evening for you, Monday morning for me, and we go one a day through as well. So we do that as well. I also do microgreens, which I thoroughly enjoy growing microgreens and trying to get it right. And so that's me. So what we're going to do now, we're going to move through this agenda that you see on your screen. And we will also digress a little bit in order to maybe answer questions or show you things, and also things that come up spontaneously perhaps won't be on the agenda, but we will cover everything on the agenda. Now, one of the things to start off with is that Zoom has a free version of Zoom, and I'm working on a paid version with Get Set Up, but when I work privately, I work on a free version, and it suits me for one-on-one with my children and maybe group meetings with my children and so on. But I want you to be aware that there are paid versions, and I'm just going to show you now. I'm going to go onto the Zoom page, the Zoom.us/pricing, and you will see from the screen that's in front of you now the prices. So you start with the free version, and if you're doing one-on-one conversations with the free version, you can talk forever. But if you have more than one person in the class with you, then you can only talk for 40 minutes. Okay, and then Zoom will cut you off after that. Yes, you can sign back in and start all over again and have another 40 minutes. But just be aware that that's the limitation of the free version. Then there are 3 other versions, as you can see on your screen, for $149 a year, $199 a year, and then on to the $240. And each one has a particular use and is focused at a particular category of people. So go and have a look, because I will be showing you one thing that is not on the free, only one thing that is not on the free version, and that is polling. But otherwise, the other things are all on the free version. So just be aware that polling is not on the free version. All right, so let me just minimize that and let's get back to the screen with everybody on it. Okay. So now, the first thing I want to show you, you can see on the bottom of the screen on the left-hand side is stop video, or a little video camera image. On my screen, not on your screen. Okay, if you're following on something else as well, I'm talking about my screen that I'm sharing with you. Okay, so you can just nod your head as I mentioned to, if you found it, because what I want to show you is the little up arrow, excuse me, a little up arrow next to the video camera. And if you click that, you can see 3 options, and one of them is video settings. And that's what I'm going to choose now, or we will be choosing a virtual background later in the class, because people want to know a little bit more. It's quite a complex, can be quite a complicated issue. But let me click on video settings, and you will see a white screen, partially white screen coming up in front of you, and I've got video hooked on it. Okay, so you can see it, can you?
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. So on this particular screen, I'm going to take you down to another one straight after this, but you can deal with your lighting. If you have a problem with lighting when you're hosting a meeting, then come here and have a look at what your options are. And based on your lighting, you can fiddle with the lighting effects in front of you. You won't see it to a great extent with me, because I've got a round light, and I've got light coming in from outside as well. So I've got a very fulfilled light in front of me. But you can play with that, and I just leave it on auto, so that if you do have a light, you know, then you can just leave it on auto. But maybe like Sue L, I see you just got one light, and you might find if you're hosting meetings, you want to play with this particular setting here, and to make it lighter in front of you. Right, I want to go down to the middle of those settings. These are all settings that are available to you. And I want to go down to background and filters. All right. Now, I want to not do background and filters. I want to go right to the bottom right-hand corner. In very small print, it says Studio Effects. Okay. Now, that's a setting in the free, which you, in your clouds, which most likely defaults to settings. So when you click it, you come across a Studio Effects. So as you know, when you go to movies and you're having films taken and so on, you got to sit in the studio while they powder your face and touch up your lips and do all that. Now you can do that on Instagram yeah, mine's not there today. You can also do it on Zoom, all right? And I've just taken my glasses off because I've already got very dark eyebrows. But if I click on the eyebrows, and you can see my eyebrows suddenly went darker, and it moves with my head. So it doesn't matter where my head is. So you as a host, you want to create a a little bit more eyebrows, you can now click on that, and below that there's a line, and you can make them darker or lighter. If you make them darker, just look how dark, disgusting, okay? And you can move them lighter, and that's a little bit better. But from my perspective, I don't need to, because I already have dark eyebrows, so I probably wouldn't use it. But for people who want to just touch up, like in a studio, I mean, if your eyebrows don't exist, then you might want to use it in class if you're going into a class and situation. So the other option coming down is you can give yourself a little beard like that, you see. I shouldn't think the women will want to do this, but certainly the men might, and it might fit with the character. And you can have different types of beards. There's a different one. Okay, so remember, this is studio effects, and I'm making you aware that they exist, because you might well want to use particularly the eyebrows or the next one, which are the lips. Okay, so I've pressed on lips there, and it's given me a very light color of the lips. So you can move around with different colored lips, and you can also darken it like that. Okay, so I'm not very good at makeup, so it looks terrible, but it shows you the availability of them, that you can play around here and just touch up yourself and be more presentable for the recording that's going to come in your class. Okay, and so you can reset by clicking the reset button. You could also, if you want to keep the same look forever, right at the top it says apply to all future meetings. It will remember what you've put on, and it will then just automatically put it on your face when you arrive for your meeting. All right, so I'm going to close that particular aspect. We've still got the white sheet open in front of us, but I want to close that, clicking on the top right-hand corner, and we've taken out that particular aspect. And what I want to do now is go to, you'll see on the bottom of my screen here, the breakout rooms. Now, let me put my glasses back on, of course. Here we are. And I can see them as well. You'll see on the bottom of your screen the breakout rooms. Now, this is part of the free version, but you do need to just turn on the setting in Zoom.us in your account on Zoom.us. You've got your own account up there, so you go and you click on that. So I'm going to click on the breakout rooms, and up comes a little white screen, and it first of all asks me how many rooms do I want, and we'll talk about rooms. Let's just give ourselves at random, let's say 4 rooms. So I click on the up arrow and it gives me 4 rooms. Okay, now you can ask Zoom to assign people automatically to those rooms, and that's fine, and we'll do that today because I want you to experience it. But we could ask the learners in the class to assign themselves, okay, or the host could assign them, okay. And now there are different reasons for using rooms. Rooms are really very valuable. Let's say you're having a conference, okay, and the conference is about climate change, and you're going to have speakers that are going to talk about different aspects of climate change, maybe the effects of outer space or the effect of the tectonic plates or whatever, and each speaker will be assigned to a room. And so now people could choose which speaker they want to go and listen to for the next period of time, be it an hour or less, and they would then choose their own room. But in another environment, let's say you're lecturing students at a university, and you want different opinions about the same subject, then you just want Zoom to put them into different rooms and let them discuss the topic that is just, and then come back with the outcome to them. So there are different reasons for different rooms, and you can call the rooms. I'll show you that in a minute. So let's just click create. Okay. You'll now see that there are 4 rooms on the screen in front of you. You'll see your name under one of those rooms. Okay. Okay, you see them. And now each one of these rooms, the top one is just called room 1, but you could rename it. Just by clicking rename, you could rename it whatever you want as the host. Okay, that is relevant to your subjects and your topic. Now, don't forget, the option to rename will only come up if you put your cursor over the room. Okay, if you take it away, it doesn't come up. Okay, you don't see there's an option to rename it. Okay, so all the way down, and I see Lester. I hope you don't mind participating in with room 2 with the other 2 participants. Okay,
Sure.
That's great. All right. So now, having automatically put you into rooms, there are options on the bottom left-hand corner. You see there's the word that says options. You click on options, and this will give you options, some of which we've already addressed right at the beginning, but you could allow participants to return to the main session at any time. So let's say you're doing an hour-long thing, and or there's an exercise, they've got to go away into the room, do it. And when they finish the exercise, they can come back to the main room. And the host will always be waiting in the main room. And also, the host is able to go and visit each of the rooms separately to see what's going on as well. So that's an option too. So you can automatically, what we've said, we have breakout rooms for how long. So today we're going to do 3 minutes. That gives 1 minute per person to talk in the room, perhaps just about themselves, who they are, introduce yourself, where you come from, whatever you would like to say. Okay, just participate, and yeah, maybe the person that is first on the list, maybe that person starts first, because sometimes otherwise you don't know. That person can be the leader of the group, if we call it that. And then once the 3 minutes is up, there'll be a countdown of 10 seconds to close the room, and then you will all arrive back in the room straight away after that. Okay. I'm now going to press on the bottom right-hand side, open all rooms. Now you will then go and get taken and put into a room, and start talking at least about yourself one at a time, and introduce yourself and to share whatever you like to share. And it'll take just a sort of a few seconds for everybody to get to their room. And then watch out, you'll see I'll come and visit the room. Just at odd times, my face will appear along with yours. Okay. Okay, here we go. We open all rooms, and we're now going to move into different rooms.
Thank you. Okay.
Made it back.
You're back.
They're back.
Back, yes. Okay, so what was that like?
Oh, it's
Very-
very interesting. Yes, I enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it
But
was
just like
interesting.
need to learn how to do it.
Okay. Is that a question? Would you like me just to recap?
Yes,
that?
I would, if you don't mind.
Okay, I'll just do it quickly so as not to. You go to the breakout rooms at the bottom of you, the host. You're going to have the breakout rooms at the bottom, particularly if you're working on a PC or a laptop. If you're working on a smaller device, it'll be under more, okay? But remember, you've got to have it opened in zoom.us, and I'll show you that before we leave class. There's a setting there. Okay, then you click on settings, and then you just follow your note after that, okay? It's all there. So, all right, I hope that answers your question. And
It does, yes, thank you.
okay, so I want to just point out to you security. You will see at the bottom of my screen, look at my screen, don't look at, you won't see it on yours. You will see the word security, which comes up under the host screen. If you are hosting, you'll see the word security. You click on security, and it now gives you options. This is like security for you as the host and the power that you have as a host of what you can do right here. So first of all, you can see that at a point you can lock the meeting. You as the host can lock the meeting. So maybe you go in 10 minutes into the meeting and you lock it, and you don't want anybody else to appear like we have done today. So that's an option, but that was done by default. Now get set up as and in line with the TA, like Lester probably would have locked the room after everybody was in within 10 minutes. So you're able to do that. You're also able to enable, if you're now setting up your host meeting and you're getting your meeting together, nobody's in the room with you, you're now putting your makeup on and making sure you look all right, and you can now enable the waiting room, okay? And you can then go and put the tea on and wait for the hour to arrive. So yeah, you can hide profile pictures and just have names coming up as well. You as the host can do that with this setting right here. And then the next heading is allow participants to. And so you will see you can allow to share a screen. So if you click on that and you will share, you'll see now that it's ticked. You can share a screen. Okay, you are allowed to chat and you're allowed to rename yourselves, but you can decide as the host whether you want that or not. Okay, and whether people can unmute themselves. So, you know, if it's a lecture and you don't want interaction, you now at sort of varsity level and you're just giving your lecture and you want to maybe allow them at the end, then you would come back here. But obviously we allow it all the time. And whether you allow participants to start a video or not, you know, it might be appropriate for your meeting. Okay, so we'll see what that turns out like. And then you see here you can remove a participant. So if it's not appropriate, if a participant shouldn't be there, maybe they're a childy little kid that's been naughty and comes into class, and so you just want to remove them. So you would click that and follow what happens after that. You can also, rather than take them out, you can just suspend their activities. They stay there, but they can't say or do anything either. So that falls under security. So I don't know if there are any questions you'd like to. Yeah, Myra, you got your hand up. Yes.
Yes, I'd like to ask about muting by the host. Are you saying that actually the host can mute everyone? And I ask that because I have been on several meetings and sessions where the host has continuously asked folks to mute themselves, and they haven't. I'm believing because they can't find the icon, and that happens if it's the meeting is an hour and a half long. It happens continuously where they're exclaiming, "Please mute yourself," because you hear the dog barking conversations. One lady began to sing the other day. And I'm thinking, why doesn't the host just mute all 500 people? But they didn't. You see what I mean? So anyway, please, I'll rather than go on, you're saying that is an option?
Yeah. Can you see on the right of your screen a white screen with participants at the top?
Yes.
Okay. Now, all the participants in this class are listed here. And
right.
If you hold your cursor, let's say over one of them, okay, you then have an option immediately to mute that person.
Right.
Okay. If you're not sure why, let's say it's just a noise that you can't identify very much clearly, right at the bottom, you can click mute all, okay? And then everybody's muted. But they can unmute themselves, obviously, and quickly. But if there's maybe a disruption or something that needs to be identified, then you can mute all and then do the work, okay? Does that answer your question, Myra?
Yeah, so essentially you're saying that the host can actually mute all 300 people on a call or, on a session, but perhaps individuals are unmuting themselves. And so therefore we hear the dog barking.
But remember, you've got a setting under security.
Okay.
Remember on the bottom, you've got a setting there that says, you're allowing them to unmute themselves. So you come here and you click on that. Now they can't unmute themselves.
Thank you for telling me that. Okay.
Pleasure. It's a very important point now in this day and age with what's happening with Zoom. So that's fine. So you can put your hand down now, Mara.
Okay. I'm trying. I'll have to take it down. Okay.
Just click it again. Just click it.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got it. Lower hand. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. No. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to talk about sharing. Okay. And then annotations after that. But I want to first start with sharing. Now, all of you that have hosted a meeting, you know that there's sharing at the bottom, and it was well explained in the basic class. And you click on the green little arrow, and it takes you to your desktop, okay, your own personal desktop, okay? And you can now click on whatever you want to share. Now, you saw that in the basic, but what you didn't see is that you could share more than one document at the same time. And this is often needed, especially in educational training or teaching type classes. So the way you do that is you just click on one document that you want open, and a blue frame comes around it. Then you hold down your control key on your keyboard, okay? Then you can click another one and another one and another one. I've clicked 4 documents, okay? So I then go down to the right-hand bottom, as you know, and click share. So I click share, and now we've got 4 documents all on top of each other. They're ready to be pulled out and shared, and you can put them anywhere on your screen. Okay, so now you move them around. You can also now enlarge the ones that you want. You can play around with them. You see that, well, I'm not sure if you can see, but they do have green lines around them. And so you can now just pull over the green line. You can go right over the other one, and you've now got one full document there. And maybe you want to compare it with the other side. You can go right over the other document, and you can now share the document there. And now you can talk about the documents. The others are below, ready to be pulled up whenever you want them. So this becomes really handy in certain classes. It's just holding down the control key and clicking on the documents that you want when you've gone to share. Okay, so I'm going to just stop sharing for a minute, and we're all back here, but I'm going to share the full screen again so that you can see my tools at the bottom of the page. That way you know that I'm using Zoom inside Zoom. Okay, so that becomes an interesting phenomena, okay, because there are lots of things you can do with it. Now, but let's look at other types of sharing and using annotation. So I'm just going to see, let's have a look here. We'll click on there, and we've, yeah, okay, see, there's something now. Watch carefully there at the bottom. I've again clicked on that security. Now, at the bottom, you will see what is not ticked, where my cursor is. Annotate on shared content. Now, I want you to annotate. I'm going to share something for you to play the fool on, okay? So I'm going to click on that. And when we look at it again, you'll see it's now ticked. So remember that, okay? So now let's click on share. And Zoom has something they call a whiteboard. Okay, you might have seen it in the basics. I don't know, it depends who gave the basic class. So you click on whiteboard. Now I'm going to click share. What you must be aware of now, you've got to be observant, okay, because on your screen, there's going to come up a little drop-down menu. And in some cases, depending what device you're using, it'll just be there for a split second, and you need to see it, or not a split second, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. Okay, you will see it. So, and it'll say something to the effect of Michael is sharing, and then next to that, options, and then depending on the drop down, otherwise you click options. So I want you to click on the drop down arrow when I've shared this board, or click on options if your device is smaller. And then there'll be a little menu that drops down with a few words. I want you to click on annotate. Okay, so watch for the setting that comes up. Click on the little down arrow or options and click on annotate. All right, let's see how we go. I'm going to share the whiteboard now. Watch out for it. Okay. And then you will have annotation tools that you bring down, pull them down when you've clicked on those options, and you can then start. There we are. Sue L has got it, and I've got it. Yeah. Okay. So I want to see the rest of you bringing it down and just then clicking on your annotation tools, any one of them, drawing or text or whatever, and then just come and click and pull on the board. Okay.
Read mine.
Come on, can you see it? There you are. Somebody's got a heart and a green dot. Okay. If you go to, you click on select again and come across to draw. If you click on draw, you can pull squares in. You can pull on circles. Okay. Who's not got it?
I don't have it.
Who's not finding it?
I don't have it yet either.
Okay. Okay. It's
I
usually
can't
hidden.
find whatever it is you pulled down.
Okay. It's usually hidden on the top of your screen. So if you take your cursor or whatever you use and your finger to the top of your screen, it will unhide it for a short time, and you can then fiddle with it then. But look for it on your screen somewhere. It might be at the bottom of your screen, but usually it's at the top of your screen.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, good. All right, keep going, keep trying, because this becomes very handy for certain options, which I want to show you later, but I want to make sure that you can see. Did you see it to start with when it came up? Because you've got permission.
My drop-down menu is there, but when I press on select, nothing opens up.
Hmm.
Okay.
Me too.
I'm not sure if Lester can help
Okay.
you. There we are. Another one's found it. Okay. Keep trying. It is there. Okay. Just keep moving to where it's hiding, sort of in the frame of your device or of your page.
Would it make a difference if you didn't come on as the host?
Yeah, I've given authority for the attendees, the learners, now to annotate on this board, but you have to annotate from your little annotate menu. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that little annotate menu. A couple of you have found it, but just keep on, those who have found it, just keep on scrolling on the board, just any sort of lines so that I can see and experiment with some of the drop-down menus in your annotation tools.
Okay. I got it finally.
Okay.
Finally.
Yeah. Finally, the two Sues have got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Pamela, you raised your hand.
I finally got it.
Oh, good. Okay, great. Well done. There we are. Keep looking. Those
Hiding somewhere.
It didn't.
So keep looking, because this is going to be just something that you really learnt, that's important, that you can use. I'll show you how else you can use it. That's it. Just keep scribbling. Just keep scribbling. And yes, you're pros now. You're right. Okay. Look for where the squares are. Try different drop-down menus. Under draw, there are different shapes and that you can play with and create shapes. Marjorie, well done. Okay. Yeah. Tamara, well done. Okay, there we are. There we go. Is there anybody that has not yet found it?
I can't figure this out.
Charles?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep moving around your... what device have you got, Charles? Are you working on? Is it
Oh, it's hit and draw, and nothing happens.
Okay. Can you see the word options? Do you have any other options?
No, I don't see that.
Okay. Okay. All right. It's hidden somewhere. It is there. Okay. So if you look, push your cursor up or your to the top of the screen, and then take it all the way down to the bottom, as if you were going to pass through the bottom or pass through the top. It's hiding there somewhere in the edge of your device. Okay, that's good. Okay. Okay, Charles, I've got to move on. Okay.
Keep going, keep going.
Okay, but we're going to share again something else. So you keep looking for that, especially when I share something. Then look to see what comes up on your screen. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to my little icon on my annotation tools that says clear, and I'm going to clear all drawing. So you can stop drawing now. Okay, and I click clear. I could download it if I wanted it to. You know, let's say it was brainstorming. Terry, you've got your hand up.
I wasn't able to get anything. I got my drop down menu. There's no button for options, but if trying to hit select, it doesn't open up.
Okay, remember this is, you're looking for something that isn't usually there, a bar that says Michael is sharing options. That's what you're looking for, the drop down. You're not looking for anything that's usually on your laptop. So we're going to share something else now.
Okay,
Terry.
I found it.
And then let's see if we can come up. I'm going to just stop sharing for a minute. And okay, let's just go back to there. Okay, so I'm going to now, I uploaded a little word search document. Okay, Terry, is your hand still up, or was that from the last?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, that's fine. That's all right. Okay, so what I'm going to share now now. If you're welcome to look for that little annotation drop down, but I'm not going to because of time restraints now. So I'm going to click on something that is that I uploaded. I made a JPEG picture out of it, and I'm going to share that. So you can see the white screen that now come up, and you can annotate if you're able to on that. Let me just show you, for example. There we are. You've done it. Well done, Terry. Okay, super. You found it. Okay, that's great. So all of you now, if you want to just quickly find the words, there are different ways you can do it. You can do it with a drawing, let's say a circular, something like that. Okay, let me rather say that. Okay, you could do that. That's one way of doing it. Okay, that's great. Keep going, keep going. Another way of doing it is taking the thick line in your drawing box. And then saying, you know, maybe doing that. Okay, I got in before you. Okay, so so that's what you would do with your annotation tools. You could now, but let me just stop sharing this. Okay, I'm going to clear it again, clear the board. Otherwise, it'll be there next time I upload it. And I'm going to stop sharing. And now the interesting part is you can now go to anywhere on the website, and I'm going to do that right now. And you can have go to a word search website. Okay, as you can see, has it come up in front of you now, the word search website?
Yes.
Yes, great. Okay, so this one, I'll put it in the email, how to find this, okay? So you've got all sorts of categories that you can choose from here. And you just decide, you know, that I like that particular category, and you click on it, and then a word search comes up with that category, okay? And you then just click begin, and away you go, okay? So you can invite people to come into your Zoom, you can share this, and then you can play again with your grandchildren, with your brothers, your sisters, with friends. You know, you can have a lot of fun doing that here. Now, the other option also, I'm just going to show you, is you could play trivia pursuits. I went and got triviaplaza.com, and you can now, you know, decide what you're going to do. Maybe some computers, and you click on computers, and you could have general computers, and now you can click on any one of these I just take one at random in the minute, and then up comes the ready to play. And it says to you, do you really know all the famous persons that obtained their fame by doing or having done something with computers? Do you know who Steve Case is, or why David and Phil, and so forth? Okay, you click play, and now within Zoom, you can have anybody anywhere around the world come and play with you. And again, it's something you can do with friends or whatever. Perhaps you're feeling bored and you call up a friend and say, come on, let's do a bit of trivia if that's what you like. Okay, and so you would click on the answers and you would have some fun doing that. So let me just stop sharing that. Are there any questions? Because believe me, those things are exciting if you really want to use them. And you know, you can ask, don't forget, you can ask for a recording of this if you're a little confused, okay, or if I've gone too quickly. And then you can just follow in your own time, your own pace, the recordings of what I've said, and you will see what I've done, okay. All right, so are there any questions before? I just want to touch on the Zoom backgrounds, okay. Okay, it is in the basic class. Remember, I go down to the video icon at the bottom. I click the up arrow, and there it is. Choose your virtual background. Okay. Now you can see a white screen that's come up, and my face is in the white screen, and yours would be, if you were the host, looking to choose your background. Now, as you probably heard in the basic, is that Zoom has some base. You just click on any one and the background changes, okay? These are Zoom free backgrounds, okay? And yeah, and so, and then you can just upload a picture of your own, whichever one you want, you see. Now to upload, you would click on the plus sign, okay? And underneath the plus sign, it says add an image. If you click on that, it takes you to your device where you've got a picture waiting. Okay, you must have a picture waiting. Doesn't matter if it's a picture of vegetables or people or whatever you want. Okay, so you can go there. So, but it doesn't always work. Okay, and the reason it doesn't work, I'm going to show you now. Some of the more obvious aspects of why it doesn't work. Okay, let's just make sure I'm sharing that screen, and let's take this back up, and let's move away. We can close that, and we can close that. Okay, and the first thing that you really need to do is to go to Zoom support. You can see it at the top here. The icon, and I will put it in the email, but it is a very powerful, it's got a little video that will tell you about your virtual background, what you can do, an overview with it, whether you need a green screen or whether you don't need a green screen. More modern or recently bought don't need a green screen, but it tells you right from the word go. It gives you all the different options that you have. But what I really want to point out is the prerequisites, okay? Because some computers are just not designed, are not powerful enough to have the virtual background. And it just distorts and becomes murky and jelly-like if you try and do it, even with a green screen. Okay, so you come here and you have a look, and they're very quick to answer your questions at support Zoom. So really, this is where you need to be in order to find out about your Zoom. But you also need to go to your settings, your own settings, okay, and look. Okay, I've gone into my own settings, and you'll see on the left-hand side are all the settings here. So if you want to go quickly to something, you would just go to the menu. But let's just go down here, and you'll see different settings that are coming up, and I promised to show you these, okay? You can see some of the things that you need to be looking at there if you, I know, but you can go to these. if you just keep on going down, just keep on going down. And that's what I want to stop at. See, here we've got virtual background again. And if that icon is not ticked, you are not hiding to nothing. So you need to make sure that that is ticked first, and then go back and look at, you know, whether you can upload a virtual background or not. Okay. All right. There's if there are any questions, please just ask them now, because I do want to show you something else. Okay. So please just talk while I'm finding what I want to show you, and watch what I'm showing you. Okay. All right. What I'm going to show you is how to use a PowerPoint presentation as your virtual background. Okay. So let's assume that you are now lecturing, like I'm lecturing, let's say, but I'm not actually lecturing. I'm just showing you some tips. You see that my picture comes up in front. Everything behind me is my virtual background, but it is my video. Okay, I mean, in my PowerPoint, and at the bottom of the screen, I can click to the next slide, like I did this morning when but I'm in front of the actual thing. So this becomes very interesting for different situations. Like another slide, off it goes. Okay. Another thing that I can do is I can come up to my picture at the top. Okay, and click on the three little buttons. Okay, and I can not stop my video, but I can hide my self view, so I'm not in two places at the same time. Okay, so I click that, and bye-bye to my other self on the top. So now I'm in front, and I can now move on with the slides behind me. Okay, almost like that I'm on stage and the slides are up on the back of the stage. So it's a very interesting situation. So are there any questions about that? Okay, don't all shout at once. Pulling your leg. All right.
Okay.
If there are no questions, then I will send you an email and give you some of those links that I promised you. And remember, you can get a recording by requesting it from help@getsetup.io, and then you can go through it slower if there's something you missed. Or just look for my next class and we will do it again. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye to all of you then. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Thank you.
Bye.
Right.
Bye. Thank you. Yeah, good night to you. Okay. Yeah.